This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. I truly feel that collectively, we are now looking for something else in our world. We're feeling stuck. Sure, there's a place for counseling, therapy, maybe meds, depending on where you are in your journey. But we're looking for more. And we're open to different things, especially maybe things that have been tried, true, and tested for, centuries. We're going to talk about that today and how it can impact your life and move it forward. She is the person behind My Crystal Portal. It's a center of holistic experience, ancient wisdom, modern holistic modalities, and really just realigning your mind, your body, your spirit, getting you back in balance again. Part of that comes from energy. Part of that comes from the energy sources in your body. Part of that is the chakras. We're going to talk about the chakras today. Rochel Rittgers is on the program with us. How are you doing today?
Hi, Steve. Thanks so much for bringing me on. This is really exciting to be here with you today.
I remember when I was younger, I would hear the term chakra and even Reiki. And this is going way back. And I interned at a cable TV station and would run the camera for a woman kooky woman, talking about the energy and these chakra things and this Reiki thing. And then fast forward years later, I started working with that with somebody who's pretty well known in the universe that is intuitive and harnesses the power of that. Honestly, I never really dove into the water, just kind of dipped my toe into that. And then fast forward like 15 years, here I am. And now I'm very aware of it and what the chakras are. And when one is off, others can be off, and they all play a very important role in our body. There's 7, call them major chakras in our bodies, right?
That's true. There are 7, and those are coming from the ancient Indian traditions. And in India, they say chakra. And so, I think the U.S. has sort of softened it a bit, maybe. I don't know. But yes, there's 7, and then there's 2 additional ones above our head, according to the Indian tradition. And I've studied both Indian and Chinese traditions, and the Chinese call the energy centers dantians. So it's kind of interesting that we can come from 2 different ancient traditions and have different names, but essentially the same meaning.
Wow. I never knew that. I always heard them as chakras, not chakras.
Yes.
But as I scan my mind for a moment, I do remember, as you said it from way back, it was said that way back then. Weird. I got a flashback. Strange.
Yeah, I don't like to correct people or whatever, but I've spent so much time in India that I say chakra because I've been there, and so it comes across that way, and people wonder if I'm saying it correctly, I suppose. I don't know.
What wasn't there and still exists the singer Shaka Khan? That was a bad joke. Anyway.
That was a ways ago. Was that back in the 80s, maybe?
Yeah, but it wasn't Chakra. It was Shaka Khan,
Shaka
Khan, with the band Rufus.
I think I can dance, move into that one.
Yeah,
one of their songs.
oh, definitely. I feel for you. It was number 1 song, 1984.
There we go. I think it was 82, wasn't it?
I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to say 1984, but now I'm going to look it up.
Really? Okay, that may be. I believe you.
And she was with the. Can we get clarification on that? I digress. So can we look at the different chakra systems in our body and what they represent?
Absolutely. There, like Steve was saying, there's 7 major ones that most people are familiar with. Well, maybe not. Maybe most of us that are in this world are familiar with. And the 3 upper ones, the heart, the throat, and the third eye, well, and also considering the crown chakra, those are the spiritual chakras. And then the 3 lower ones, the stomach, the lower stomach, and then the root, those are the sort of human chakras, if you will. And those are the ones that we really have a hard time opening, to be honest. The heart is the hardest, I believe. Once we get the heart open, then, the spiritual levels start opening up. but the lower chakras are the tough ones. And so if
Huh.
you think about the renditions of Buddha, and there's one Buddha that's very thin and sitting in lotus position, and there's one Buddha that's very chubby,
Yes,
right?
with the big belly. Yep.
Right. Okay. So in the Chinese traditions, in the Qigong tradition, the big-bellied Buddha is that way not because he's chubby, but because the lower energy centers are the most important to open up in order to support the upper energy centers. And so
Wow.
they say when you fill those up, the lower ones, then the upper ones will gradually fill up as well.
Wow. I have done podcasts on chakras and many. I've never heard that.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. We
Wow.
could go on and on.
Oh my gosh. I never realized. And I thought, I mean, they call it a root chakra for a reason. So there's some
Sure.
pretty strong significance there. However, some of the upper ones, especially, and
Mhm.
we'll get to it, but the third eye, to pilot your life and things like that, I would think that
Yes.
that would be pretty important.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
it is. I mean, all of each one of them is very important, correct? But you've probably known of people who have psychic abilities that don't seem to be, you know, planted on this earth. You know, they're floating around. They're sort of airy-fairy or whatever. And the reason is because their earth chakras are not open. And so they're not grounded. They're not fully in their bodies. And so it's important that it's okay to have, the upper chakras open, but it's really good to get the other ones open as well.
Hmm. So we're going to look at these from the bottom up.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I think that's a great idea. So the root chakra, that's the bottom one. That's the survival one. So if we are struggling with any kind of survival, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough food, we don't have enough of stuff, whatever it is. Maybe our relationship is weak. We're reaching out for all kinds of different things, and the root chakra is the one that is not fulfilled. And so as we work on opening that, then all of those survival experiences start evening out and we start feeling more grounded. That's the one that is significant when we're not feeling grounded, when our emotions are all over the place. Then that one definitely, you need to go outside and stand on the ground with your bare feet. You need to hug a tree. You need to get outside and be in nature to help ground yourself and open up that survival chakra.
Felt
Yeah.
I needed to do it so bad for the last few days, even during the blizzard when it was, safe to go outside. I went and shoveled just for an outside connection. Um,
Uh-huh.
but I found myself this morning. I want to just get outside and go for a jog. Well, the roads are kind of dicey, get slip here, slip
Right.
there. But I took a walk and I
Hmm.
feel much better. And my question for you, Rochelle, is if that chakra is kind of wonky, just going outside and grounding, take a walk in nature, hug a tree, if you will, it's connected to the ground. All of these techniques, will
Hmm.
that improve the energy of that lowest chakra?
It definitely does. The grounding mechanism, just by putting your feet on the ground or standing next to a tree or walking in the forest or walking out in nature,
Sure.
always connects us with what they call negative ions, right? And negative ions, when our positive ions are out of whack, that's when our emotions are high. And so negative ions help to bring us back down again.
Gotcha. What else can you tell us about that chakra before we move up to the next one?
Let's see. I had something in mind and it's kind of slipped right now, but um, using stones, for example, you can use tourmaline, you can use pyrite, you can use hematite. Those stones are very good for helping to ground as well. So if you can't get outside, get some crystals that are dark in color.
Hematite. Is that green?
Actually, hematite is more metallic looking.
Okay.
It's got a silver sheen to it.
This is where I struggle, and I've got stones and they're darker ones. And what was the first one? It's tourmaline.
Tourmaline, black tourmaline.
Yep.
Tourmaline comes in multiple colors, but the black one is the one that's more grounding.
That
Hmm.
I've got that. I have such a challenge remembering the names of them. It's almost like if you were a doctor, there's so many different meds that have funky names. I
It,
could never do
it,
that.
it,
I struggle with it.
well, it's a new language, and until you're exposed to it daily, you don't remember it, right? And there's
Yeah.
so many stones that I'm not familiar with, but I'm learning a little bit every day, and gaining more wisdom that way. But the ones that are very helpful are the ones that we definitely carry in our store, and we bring those into the picture when we're helping people.
Gotcha. Shall we move up one chakra?
Sure. Yes, let's go to the second one. So they call this the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is the one that is you can use an orange crystal. So carnelian is a very common one that people use in this area. The sacral chakra is all about creativity. It's all about life force energy. It's all about kidney energy. It's all about reproduction, of course. And so if people are feeling stagnant, they feel like, maybe they're writing a book and they can't get things rolling. This is the second chakra. That's the creative area. And so, doing things to balance that creativity, just painting or singing, or taking a nice luxurious bath in some essential oil, something like that would be very helpful for
Mm.
that area.
Mm. What crystals would support that?
Well, carnelian is the big one. It's the orange one. In fact, yeah, that's the one that I'm wearing right now.
Oh,
And yeah,
yeah.
and that's the big one that is really orange. There's a variety of other ones that are orange. Let me think here. There's some calcites that are orange that would be very very helpful, and some of them even glow under a black light, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, mangano calcite is a really beautiful one that would be really great for the sacral chakra, and that's the one that glows under a black light, which is really fun.
So let's say that you're having some challenges. You're identifying them. You're out of sorts. Not grounded. You're creative. You have writer's block. And as you identify, ties back to the creative side of the sacral chakra.
Hmm.
Using crystals, how much can benefit can you get from that versus doing a session with somebody, an energy healer?
You know, it's It's hard to say. I mean, some people are very sensitive, so that using the crystals would be extraordinarily helpful. I encourage people to wear bracelets that are crystals because then they have them on all the time, and that has a frequency effect that helps, 100% of the time, at least when they're having it on. And so that can be very helpful. When you're having a session with somebody, that's a short period of time, maybe an hour or 2 hours, and it can make a significant impact without question. And then the crystals, the bracelets, or some women put stones, like tumbled stones in their bras, or, people put them in their pockets. Just having them near you is a support system then.
Hmm. Before we go to the next chakra, can you ever go wrong in terms of the combo of crystals? Because I'll drive around my car and I have a little satchel of crystals. Got it at the crystal shop. Um, I don't know if they're conflicting, but I've got them. So now that we're saying this, like if you're not sure, and I think you mentioned a green one. It's kind of dark. I can't even see what this is. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better. Got more of a
Looks like
green
malachite, maybe.
malachite. It is. It is.
Yeah.
So I mean, there. Can you do can you do yourself an injustice by just mixing crystals and just hey, I want to err on the side of caution. I want to take care of that chakra, that one over there. So
Let me
let
just
me
fill
just
up my whole car, right?
yeah, right. Just like you're getting horrible gas mileage because you have all these rocks in your car. But can that do harm? Can it be negative?
Um, the universe, Earth, God force doesn't make mistakes. So I'm going to say no. I'm sure there's people out there that would say, oh, you can't do this with that, and you can't do this with that. But what happens if a stone is, it would be neutralized versus creating problems. Does that make
Gotcha.
sense? So
100%.
yeah, so you've probably seen those bowls with so many crystals in them, like every possible crystal on the planet,
Yep.
just tiny little tumbled stones, and they feel so good when you put your hands in them. Or what about when you're walking on the beach? Have you ever put sand under a microscope and see what it looks like? It
Hmm.
truly is what you're describing, all the crystals, right? Doesn't it
Wow.
feel good?
Yes,
Yeah.
and what comes up for me as you're describing this, as I
Mm-hmm.
understand it, when Reiki is done, energy healing, that
Uh-huh.
the energy goes where it needs to go. The person, the practitioner is just sending it. So it almost sounds like maybe the crystal is doing the same thing. It's going to this one's going to do its job, that one's going to do its job. It's not going to do anything negative. It's going to do what it needs to do, but that's it,
Mother Earth is very intelligent. Yes.
right? Hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Next chakra. I want to get to all of them
Okay.
before we run out here. So next one,
Yes,
what do we
yes.
got?
We have to move along here. So the third chakra, that one's at the abdomen level, right? And that one's called the solar plexus. For some reason, that one, the name of it always leaves me. I don't know why, but it's called the solar plexus. Yellow stones are very helpful for that. So mookaite is one of my favorites, which is a jasper. Yellow adventurine would be really good. Yellow agate would be really good. So that one is very supported with the yellow color. And incidentally, if someone's having digestive issues, which is what that area is, digestion, supporting all of your movement of food through your body is that area. Also, your will, standing in your own power, knowing who you are in the world, knowing which way you're going, and deciding to go forward with it. Feeling the strength of who you are is where that chakra is really powerful.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, walking in your own, path is essentially what that one's all about.
Ah, um, crystals for that one.
Well, like I said, mookaite, which is a jasper.
Okay.
I love the yellow stones for that area, but mookaite
So,
is my favorite. There's yellow aventurine, there's yellow
hmm.
agate. Those are the three that sort of we use a lot in our store, and so that those would be really helpful from that standpoint.
So I have one here, and I
Yeah.
know it's got a
Oh,
slight.
citrine. Citrine is also a very good one for that area.
You
Very,
are
very.
correct.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I can't
Uh-huh.
remember them. As soon as you say it, I'm like, Bing. That's it.
That's
Wow.
it. Yes, yes.
All right.
Yeah. So,
I got
and
it.
citrine is
So,
a very, very good one also. So we use citrine is actually so citrine, amethyst,
mm,
strawberry quartz, regular quartz, all of those are in the quartz family. And
gotcha.
so, because they have a foundation of that beautiful clarity, and so they're all in the quartz family. So citrine is one of those, and a lot of
Would
people know about that one.
would the heart chakra be next?
It certainly would, absolutely. So the heart chakra is all about our emotions, and especially sadness and happiness, and the stones that go along. And this is where I have some confusion because I've studied both ancient Chinese wisdom and also ancient Indian wisdom. And
Mm.
in the Indian chakras, the green stones are very good for that. In the Chinese system, the pink stones are very good for that. So we go with rose quartz, which is the love stone to begin with,
Mm.
and we go with green aventurine, which is lovely as well. And zoisite, and ruby fuchsite are beautiful stones that really support the heart area. And how do we open that area from a emotional standpoint? First of all, when we're feeling very sad, clearly our heart is not doing well. If we are how many of us have not gone through a rough breakup, right? And so if we're having grief or if we're having pain from a breakup, that all settles into the heart. And so we need to find something to love, right? It's very easy to love little children or pets or something like that. So spend time with children or pets or, something that can help you find love again so that you can help yourself get over the hump of loss. That's one of the suggestions that I really offer.
Wow. Um, what about finding love for yourself?
Well, and that's huge, but sometimes, when you're feeling so rough, you can't find that, right? So
Right.
you have to reach outside of yourself for a little bit until you start feeling a little bit better. And then, yes, you have to heal yourself. You have to nurture yourself with positive things, some um, body therapy like massage and different things like that. Exercise is awesome for nurturing yourself. What else can you do? Of course, doing the wonderful Calgon baths. I'm aging myself there.
Oh, but I know what you're talking about.
I
Uh,
know,
wow.
right?
Calgon, take me away, right?
Exactly, exactly. That was the old commercial. I can't even tell you when that was, probably in the 60s. Um, but yeah, so, nurturing yourself with essential oils in the bath, like lavender, is really, really good for helping the heart and opening the emotions, and helping to feel better. And also doing, Epsom salts and Himalayan salts in the bath is really awesome for such like that as well.
Wow. Um, don't want to run out of time, so the next one would be the throat chakra, correct?
Throat chakra. Throat chakra is all about speaking your truth, feeling as though you're being heard in public, feeling as though what you have to say is important. That's the throat chakra. And that's right literally in the middle of the throat. And the stones that are very helpful for that is blue. They are blue stones. So blue lapis and sodalite are the big ones in that world. And also turquoise is a little bit, but that's closer, that's down in the middle of the chest, so that's close to the heart. Turquoise is a really good one for both heart and throat together, which is very nice. Yeah.
And moving up, we have, I guess this would be the third eye.
Oh, yes, the third eye chakra is right in the middle between the two eyebrows, right? The color for that one, some people will say it's like indigo blue, which is a deep, deep, deep dark blue. Some people will say it's purple. I'm going with the indigo blue here. And the stones that we use there are also the blue lapis, which is really lovely. And it's got the gold in it as well. So that's really helpful for opening up even the higher chakra areas. The third eye is all about infinite wisdom. It helps us to be able to connect to the wisdom of the universe. It helps us to increase our intuition. So, you know who's going to call before they call you, kind of thing. Or you're able to have sort of prophetic thoughts. Some people know things, they just know things and they don't know why. And that's the third eye vision.
Wow.
Mhm.
Um, got a second left for the last one, which would be the crown chakra.
The crown chakra is the ultimate gateway to spiritual source energy. And that one is purple mixed with gold. I like to mix them. And a lot of people use the amethyst for that one. It's beautiful. That's the one that makes you feel truly connected to your God source. Some people call it Jesus. Some people call it God. Some people call it Buddha. Whatever it is, it's a true connection to your God energy. Yeah.
And
And your
that's
higher self, to be honest. Yeah.
a lot of times I've heard picture the white light coming down
Exactly.
through that
Exactly.
chakra. Wow.
Yes. So the white light is coming from two chakras up. So that's really helpful. So you bring the white light in, and some people say from the sun, some people from the God source, but yes, you bring that in, and that really helps to open that up as well.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Again, I've talked about this before. Learned so much today, especially the crystals that support. And if somebody's looking to cleanse their chakras or some kind of energy healing, you offer so many different modalities. Many of them can be done virtually. What's the best way to find you?
Yes. So we can be found at mycrystalportal.com. We have a sign-in spot right there. That's our website. We can also be called directly at My Crystal Portal, which is 563 344-3333. We have a Facebook page and we have an Instagram page.
Wonderful talking with you today, Rochel. I'm blown
Thank
away.
you.
Like, it validated some things, learned some things along the way. And that's just a piece of what you offer there. mycrystalportal.com. Love that name. Thank you for being here
Thank
today.
you.
I had no idea you spent so much time in India with all of this.
Yeah, I actually was studying Ayurveda there, so that's why I was in India so often. But so for a 5-year program, I went to India 5 times. Yeah.
Wow. And that's Ayurveda, or the Ayurvedic lifestyle, or something else we could talk about next time we get together.
Right, right. So there's another one.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah,
We'll catch up
yeah.
soon, okay?
Wow, thanks so much, Steve. I sure appreciate it.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.